Okay, if you can hear me through the dogs barking, I am listening to some of what the commenters have said, and yeah, I do agree with some of it. I don't really agree with the way that it may have been said, but I am aware that there are issues, and I'm working on that. I got rid of all of these and took them up to a block up there using it's a big splice. It's a big brass splice block, and all of the positive and negatives are going up there. That is just for this one. That's just for this one. I did move some wires over to here for the 12-volt system, and I'll get to that when I have more boxes. I'm out of boxes, and I couldn't find any more. Door swing around. Yes, there is an extension cord in here. And the reason is because I left the radio on in my truck last night, and it's now dead. Yeah, I am planning on doing more. I need to do this one, get it up there. I'm going to do it exactly the same as I did this one, and get it all moved. And then I'll do this one, and I'll do the same way. I did find I do need, all these fuses are for, is for someplace to disconnect the panels from the charge controller. That's all those are for. They serve no other purpose. The fuses for the panels are clear out there on the panels. I'm using these. I want to get away from these, so I'll go with a fused combiner box. I'll need 4 of them, I think. But I'll figure that out when I come to it. This one here, like I say, it doesn't do anything either. This is the AC lines from the 12-volt windmill. There's also inside of here, where this one goes through and into the windmill itself, it's this one. There's fuses in there, up high. I've got those all over the place. But right here, they're really not doing any good, just like these. This is not doing anybody any good. It's just a switch. So I found disconnects, fused disconnects that you use on like air conditioners and such, that I could put in here to get rid of this and give me a safe location to disconnect the panels from the inverter. So I'll need 3 of those total, one here, and I'm considering combining these 2 into one and just taking one of them out. I need to do a little bit of research there and find out if I can. I was not using these 2 MT50s that were right here, so I took them out. This area, I want to build a system to contain this. There's really not that much there, but all of the 12-volt wires go into this. So what I may be able to do is take this out and move it somewhere else once I get some of this cleaned up. Move this, take these out and move them up, and put my box right there for all of this. These are on the negative line. These are the ground lines. All of the shunts, there's a shunt here, a shunt here, a shunt here, a shunt right here. They all go to the gauges up there. Those are my amp gauges. Meters, I guess. Let's go to the windmill side. But yeah, if I can clean all this up, I'll be much happier also. So what I need, and hopefully my viewers can help me with this, I need a box that I can put all this in. Refer me to something that would work better than having this up here. this burn here actually occurred because I didn't have a screw tight. Had a screw loose, yeah. Okay, I've been working on this, but I think I've got all of them that I can take out. I don't think I can take any more of them out. Because these are my lights. These are the water pump. These are a handful of wall chargers, like that one up there on the top. That's a charger up there. And stuff like that. I don't have anything ridiculous hooked up in the house. I just have wall chargers and lights. And each of these goes to an individual light or wall charger. I wish I could make it smaller. I know if I had it to do over again, I would have done it differently, but I don't. So now this is another project. This is the 12-volt wind. I'm going to disassemble this, take all this stuff off of here that I don't need. That's this, this, and this. Take them off of this board, just completely off. All I need is the rectifier and the switch. That's all I need. This does nothing. All this does is tell this when to start discharging the batteries, and you can't get it high enough to justify leaving this hooked up because this just drains the batteries. I don't need it. If I was going to buy this again, I would buy the system that they have without all of this. But what I'll do is I'll take this off and move this over to here. And that will clean up just that much more of this board to where I'll have more room to do what I need to do to clean this stuff up. But yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm not doing anything with the hanging of the wires or tying the wires down until I get this one done and this one done. I'm pretty sure that all of the wires for this one will end up being right here, and all of the wires for this one will end up being right in here. The two boxes for this one are going to go up there, and well, they're going to go up there along that area somewhere, and then I might put the disconnect for this up there also. The disconnect, I don't know where I could put it. I might put it up there. That's not a bad idea. I just need to be able to turn the solar panels off. And when I'm working on this, I work on it with the door open. That way, any excess gases, which I'm really not that worried about, aren't here. I have sparked a couple things in the past, and yeah, it gets a little bit scary. But no, I don't have a nuclear bomb. I do not. This is well ventilated in here. I did find I have what do you call it, a vent screen that I purchased for this quite a while back, and I never did put it in. But I do want to put a vent screen in here and give it just that much more air, but it's got to be filtered to keep the dust out. That's what I'm doing. I am listening to my viewers. I do appreciate comments. I don't appreciate nasty comments, and I do get my share of those. I did block, I think I blocked 3 people since I started this channel. That's because they were just trolls. So, yeah, I do appreciate it. I do have here, this is an 80 amp fuse right there. That's an 80 amp fuse on the output. The output is right here, so these are the output. So that's an 80 amp fuse for the output. So whatever box I put in right here, feeding into the batteries, I want to go with a little bit smaller than 80. That'll protect this, and I don't have any more of these. So I should probably just go ahead and buy some. But yeah, this never, our input amperage here never goes up. It has hit 60 amps once that I've seen, and that's since we put the additional panels on. But yeah, I need something here to contain all of this. I have the wire to replace this one here with the black wire, so that'll eliminate some confusion there. And I was also asked why I have so many ground wires coming in, because I have so many systems. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different solar panel systems. 3 of them go to the 12 volt. 3 systems go to this one, and 2 systems go to this one, I think. I dropped the screws to this behind the batteries, so I need to get a magnet out, find a magnet, and get down there and see if I can get the screws. I did that today. That's no fun when you're dropping behind these batteries, because those things weigh a ton. But that's what I'm doing. I am listening to my viewers. I do appreciate comments, as long as they're constructive comments, not totally negative like a lot of them are. Anyhow, let's see where we're at. That one is at 129 volts and 7.7 amps on the PV, 59.9 volts and 15.4 amps on the solar panel. This one, the PV is 115 volts and 0.5 amps. And the battery is 59.4 and 1 amp. So this one isn't being used very much for charging at the moment. So anyhow, that is the plan. That's what I'm working on. I did look at the disconnect boxes yesterday when I was at the hardware store, and the fused disconnect box sounds pretty promising. I might be able to put both of these into one disconnect box. I might be able to do that, because 2 fuses, you never know. I will give it a try. But yeah, I do need a method to turn the solar panels off. Now, I could do it out there at the solar panels if I put in a combiner box, because those are fused. But right now I'm just running these fuses. So anyhow, that's where I'm at. And I'll probably, once I get this all cleaned up on this side, I will continue this video. I just have to find some more boxes like those up there. I'll be back. Okay, been a couple of days. I'm still working on this. I got rid of this load, all of the junctions there. Got rid of all this. This wire here, these 2 go to the 2 that are on the storage shed, and these go to either end of the house. So I'll need a box for that one, but I don't need a box for this one. I'm not going to do much more just yet. I might go ahead and do this one, but I'm not going to do much more just yet, because I ordered some stuff to replace the fuses with. Alright, order some stuff to replace those, be here Tuesday late. And then Wednesday I can start putting that together. I can get rid of all 4 of these, hopefully. They're PV 30 amp fuses, and that should be big enough for what I'm doing here. So, and then I also got some stuff for the outside, just trying to beautify it a little bit. You know, I'll get all the wires hung and stuff after those parts come. But that's what I'm up to. Just trying to make it safer, at least a little bit. Okay, I should clarify that just a little bit. Let me turn this fan down. I'm replacing these. These are not useful fuses. These are just a switch. I use those to turn the panels off and on when I'm working on the system. Just in here, I can also turn them off outside. But these aren't useful. Outside, again, I have these fuses right now, but I'm going to replace these with junction boxes outside, combiner boxes outside. All these are for as a switch. They serve no useful purpose. The fuses that I bought are circuit breakers, and they're either 30 or 60 amp, I forget which, but they'll go in here basically almost where this one is, and I might just put them over here, both of them, for over here, and that way I can turn the system off. They're intrinsically safe circuit breakers. Over here, I'm going to do the same thing, remove these fuses, and try and put in those circuit breakers on this side also. That way I can turn the whole system off from inside the house. But I just wanted to clarify that because I didn't say it right. I also need to add an earth ground here to all of these. They're grounded to death, but they also require an earth ground. I just never did do that, I guess. So that's what I'm doing. I just thought I'd clarify that. Okay, turn the fan back down so I can hear myself think. I'm waiting for parts. I got this gone. I got it moved over there, and that was a chore. But I got everything working. This needs to be changed just a little bit. These wires are too long. I'm going to put a box here and a box here to turn these off. I'll be able to turn this off. And I'm also going to order one of these. I could probably make one, but I'll just order one and put it here on these to turn the brake on when I don't want it to run. So that's what I've gotten done today. It's looking a little bit better. Gonna have to, I'm really curious about these switches that I bought. They're circuit breakers. I'm going to use them as switches. What kind of a box I'm going to have to put them in. I found the same switches that are in boxes, and I didn't order any boxes for them, so it may delay me. But yeah, I think it looks better. It looks a lot better. I'm going to be able to get rid of all these. All those will be able to go. I do need to add a fuse to this line, probably right in here somewhere, but I could probably do that with a circuit breaker. And it's looking better. I didn't even notice that I didn't have a fuse on this one. So I need to put a fuse on this one, and I'll put a circuit breaker. So get rid of these, and it'll start looking better. Then I can move these deals here, maybe right up to the bottom of that, and that will help me with some room, get it cleaned up some more. And this wire here is the one that I was saying gets warm when it's charging fully. It doesn't get uncomfortably warm or anything, but it does warm up. So I'm going to replace this one with the 8. That's a 10 gauge, too small. What else? That's about it. I can't do anything else with this. I could probably tie it up there a little bit better and stuff like that. But I really can't do anything with it because I need all of those for the 12 volt system. I just can't do anything with it. I think I've mentioned before that if I had it to do again, I'd run a single 8-gauge wire to each room and put a fuse box inside of a panel in each room. And that would have helped that a lot. This I want to get rid of with the circuit breaker. That's I think that might be a little bit dangerous myself. So I want to get rid of that with the circuit breaker. And that's about it. That's probably all I'm going to get done today. Those parts are supposed to be here today, but I really seriously doubt it. UPS here is flaky at best. So anyhow, that's where I'm at. Okay, there's the first one. I had a lot of trouble getting those wires on there because they're stiff. Very stiff wires. I got it up here. Everything's marked. I'll work on these others tomorrow. I don't really want to do it tonight. But now I've got a circuit breaker, shuts out the positive and the negative. And pretty cool, I think. So I'm going to give up for the night and I'll start again tomorrow. Oh, one thing. I don't like these circuit breakers because they did not come with mounts. So I had to make mounts for these circuit breakers. So I'll be making, it takes about 20 minutes to make one. I'll be working on that hard tomorrow. I'll be back. And I did not press record. Imagine that. So, I'm stopping here. I got this one on a cutoff, this one on a cutoff, and this one on a cutoff. This one just controls this. This one just controls this. And this one controls both of these. I need to get a cover on that. I need to replace this green wire with the red because I was out. I moved all this up. I'm going to move this down. It gives me all this room here to build something to contain this stuff. This and this need to be in a container. So I'll be replacing this wire. I'll be replacing the feed wire to here from here. I'll be replacing all of this, all going into some kind of a container. I just have not found a container that I like yet. There's not much I can do over here on this side. This is all my 12 volt. I could probably tie it up better or make it a little prettier. That's about all I could really do on that. This is all 12 volt. This is my lights and some charge controllers and the water pumps. This down here, I could still put it inside of a box with the circuit breaker. I could move it from that location to somewhere else. Maybe even up here. It'd probably be a good idea to have it up here. And this over here, there's 3 green wires. These I need to put into a shut-off box. This, I believe, had a shut-off built in. I did, the guy that gave me this did send me a copy of the instructions online. I need to shorten these wires and, of course, get a shut-off for this. I can also, while I'm at it, go ahead and put in a switch here to shut the power off going into everything. I need to fuse with a circuit breaker this wire very badly. I can do that when I get this figured out up here. Kind of need probably an 80 amp circuit breaker. I probably have to put it down here. What I could probably do would be put this all into one box. Everything here and the circuit breakers and all into one box up here. Put it up here. I think I can do that. I'm just not having a good time finding the boxes yet. So, at least you can see I'm trying to make it a little prettier. It's a little bit more understandable when you look at it. This is a fuse for, this is the fuse for the fan, this fan, in case you're wondering. These are 12 volt, and this is 48, and this is 48. So that's where I'm at. Oh yeah, and I need to get a cover for that right there. I marked those boxes, plus and minus, so that anybody who looks at it can say, okay, that's what this does. But yeah, I can shut these off individually when I'm working on the batteries. If I need to work on the batteries, I can shut these off. And I can shut this off here. Both of these are through here. That's about it. I moved these up. I think they look a lot better up there too. And this is the 12-volt line coming down. I need to enlarge this wire. I'm just out of wire. I need to go and get some more of the at least 6-gauge wire. We need to run all of this in 6. That's where I'm at. I'm going to get this one here published. And subscribe, please. And what else? Tell your friends, and I hope you like it. I mean, I'm getting better. I'm trying to do better. The one comment that I said was right. It was very dangerous having all this stuff open. But it's gone. But I'll be back. Okay, been working hard back here. I got rid of all this mess and put the whole mess in here. And it's not really bad. A 48-volt breaker and a 12-volt breaker, but like I said before, these are just cutoff switches. They disconnect the batteries from the controllers, is what they do. I would imagine if there was probably a short up here somewhere, those would trip, but they're not going to trip down here if there's a short down here someplace. So I need to do something about putting in a breaker on the batteries themselves. And my thought is, let me set this aside. My thought is to, in this wire, put a breaker like that in, and probably a low amperage breaker, about 80 amps, and put it here. This is a 100 amp, and this is an 80 amp. This one here is for the 12-volt system, and this one here is for the 48-volt system. But if I put an 80 amp breaker in here, if anything here gets shorted, it'll throw that breaker in on both sides. I mean, there's a million amps here, all kinds of them, lots of amps, all kinds of them, just different kinds of amps. I got an error up here on this one, I don't know why. Shut it off. Turn it back on. Shut it off again. See what it does. Green again. It may have been over voltage or under voltage or something like that. I could have probably checked and seen. I'm charging 43 amps on that one. On those two. I'll have to keep an eye on it. I did discover that this amp gauge was off. It was incorrect by almost 20 amps. Well, then I discovered that I can't hook the ground to these into here. It's not going to work because it feeds back to the system and I lose half my amperage. I did not know that. I was not aware of that. So what I need to do is run a ground from here to here to here, and these two are already together, and hook those to here, they're earth grounds, So that ought to fix that problem. I'm going to reset this because I just turned it off. And it'll take it a minute to reset. And we will keep an eye on it. So the next thing to do is to move all this. I have the box right there. It's another box just like this one. I'm taking this out, putting in a 100 amp fuse. I need to check the size of this one to make sure that's the size I need. Take this out and pull these wires down. I got extra up there, and run them into the box and run all this into a fuse. I'll put this in there, and I shouldn't need this. I should be able to take this out. I can put that in there, and I can take this switch out actually, because I'll have a switch on either end in a fuse, so I can just shut that fuse off. But that's what I'm doing now. I've messed up my wind generators. This one's not working again. I've tried and tried and tried to get it to go, and it's stuck in park. So I don't know what's up like that with that. I need to get this wire in conduit, this yellow wire right here, and get it off of the batteries. And it's looking better. I got rid of a lot of wires. That's all the wires I got rid of down there. So I'm still working on it. I'm not going to publish this one until I get this done, and it'll be in the next couple of days most likely. So that's where we're at. I am having fun. Been stuck working on the electric fence for quite a bit because the cows got in there and ate it, and they ate my my good antenna. It's so nice of them. Anyhow, I'll be back. Okay, I got a little bit more done. Turn this down. Got a little bit more done. Got the batteries to the inverter, cutoff switch and fuse in here. I had to use this giant box. I did accidentally buy 2 of them, but I wasn't intending on using this one, but I have to put this inside here. And it takes up so much room. I mean, there's a lot of room. I've got one in here and managed to get 2 fuses in it. I think I've only got one of those. I might have 2 of them in there. I don't even know what I've got in there. Well, yeah, I may have 2 of them in there. There's 2 blue wires coming out of it. So 2 of the shunts in here, 1 shunt in here. This is a 100 amp fuse. I took a 120 out. I've never blown the 120. I'm not going to blow the 100. This inverter, Treeline Systems inverter here, is capable of drawing up to about 200 amps. And I seriously doubt I'll ever draw that. Got rid of a lot more wire. Here's my wire box. This is, other than that green wire, that's what I cut out of there so far. Had to replace these because the wire that was in there was so stiff I couldn't move it around to where I needed it. I need to tie these wires up. Just tie them up, and that'll be fine. And I got rid of some more of this, but I added some more of that also. Now my 12 volt is not working. The brake is stuck on, and I do not know how to get the brake off. I'm gonna send a message to the people who put it together. I have the instructions, but it doesn't say a whole lot. I think the brake is mentioned in 2 places in the instructions, and neither of those say how to shut it off. If I disconnect these, it takes off like a bat out of hell, so it's not the fan out there, but it's not charging, not doing anything now. So that's where we're at. I think it looks a lot better myself. I'm happier with it. This is stuff that we've been working on trying to get done and just haven't been able to do it. But, like a friend of mine said, when you put stuff together one piece at a time, you end up with a lot of wires, and that's pretty much exactly what happened. And it's getting better. I need to tie these together too. These are really stiff wires. I need to just put a wire tie around that, and we should be good. So what I've got is 2 fuses to shut off the solar panels to the charge controllers. I've got 2 switches here to shut off the charge controllers to the batteries. I've got 1 switch here to shut off the power to the inverter. All of these are fuses. So there's 1, 2, 3. On this one I did it differently from these. These have plus and minus, plus and minus. This one has plus, 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 a lot of pluses, and plus go into this one, and plus go into this one. So I'm using 2 switches to do 2 jobs. These actually have a plus and a minus hooked up to them. Didn't have to do it that way. I could have just run, I did not have to do it to any of these, really. This has plus and minus, this has plus and minus, and this one has plus and minus. Really didn't have to do that. This is a 120 amp fuse, and this is a 100 amp fuse. Well, this is 80 amp fuse, I'm sorry. And I will never hit that on these, never. So the next step I'm going to do, the part should be here tomorrow, is in line on the batteries, I'm going to put a 60 amp fuse right here. That way, if anything is shorted on this side or that side, both fuses will blow. There'll be one here, and there'll be one down there. So if anything shorts out, like drop a wrench across them or something like that, it'll blow the fuses. I've measured the amperage. Right now we're doing 16 amps into the batteries, almost 17. So I'll have half of that here and half of that here. I have an amp meter here. Let's plug that in real quick. Set that down a little bit. On DC scale, so we're at 15.3. This one is showing 2.12. Do I have it turned off? Maybe. Nope, it's not turned off. So about 4 amps there. Let's zero it. I'm going to disconnect that and zero it again. Okay. 3 amps there. And 3 amps there. So the rest of what's going in at 15.25 is going to this. Turn that amp meter off. Pretty good little amp meter. I like it. I bought it cheap off of Amazon. That's a MESTEK. I'll put that in my list of parts. Excellent amp meter. I'm having a good time with it. Good voltmeter. But yeah, if this says 50 amps, I'll have about 20 and 20. It just divides it in half. So a 63 amp. Actually, I think I bought a 50 amp. I could put that right here. I bought a box for it. They won't be in the open like these. I bought a box for it, and I bought one for the box down there. So we will attach that to the wall and just run this. I'll get some more of the black flex. I have a whole roll of it over there. right there. And that's pretty big wire. I don't remember what gauge it is. But anyhow, I'll put that here. And I'll eliminate this. This will be gone. I can use those as switches instead of this. That's where I'm at. I'll do one more video of putting those in, and then I will get this one here published. I'll put where I got all these switches and what they are on my description in the comments, and go from there. These boxes are pretty cool. I wish I'd have seen these a long time ago. Technically, I could take all of this and put it in one of these boxes. I also found that the double row box, I could put the double row box at 15 by 15 up here and put all of these meters, and I'm going to do it, in that double row box. And that will be cool. But it's $79. Anyhow, I'll be back. Okay, we got the end fuses in. Got one there. Got one there. So those are fuses. Those actually work as fuses. I don't have a load tester. I could test them. They're 50 amp. No, they're not. I'm sorry. They are 63 amp, both of them. And that's it. I'm done with the solar part of it. I've got a couple things I need to tie up. I did have a problem with this meter. It was not accurate. But I don't need that meter because I've got it there, I got it there, got it there. I've got the voltage all over the place. But this one here was inaccurate anyhow. I hear the dogs barking. I still have a few things I could probably tie up. I'd like to replace these long LAN cables for shorter. And I really don't need all of these temperature sensors. I only needed the one right here, right there. So I only need 3. There would be 1, 2, 3, 4 of them in there. Yep, 4 of them. So I could take 1 out. Oh, what else? But everything's marked. Everything's ready to rock and roll. The next thing I need to do is work on the 110. Get that cable right there in conduit. Conduit's laying on the ground outside. And I need to wire this for 220. This still does not work. I don't know why. It's something to do with the voltages. It's a setup in it. I found another manual for this. It's the newer version, and it says nothing at all about brake. The version that I have has the brake in there twice, and it's Chinese. You can't understand what it says. So, one more thing that I need to do is I need to go ahead and get that ground around on these 3. These 2 are connected together up here. And that's about it. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and publish this one. Make sure to subscribe, tell your friends, say, hey, look at this mess this guy made. I'm sure there's a couple people that have done that. But it's looking better. Another thing I want to do is take this cable and this cable out and extend them so that they go around the batteries, not over the batteries. And I need to move this one. That's kind of sloppy, I think. So, that's where we're at. I think it looks 100% better myself. And it's looking good. Got the charge controller to batteries. That's what this one is. There's 2 fuses in there, 48 volt system and 12 volt system. The only reason I have these great big boxes is because there's 2 of these in here, and it's not that easy to make room for them. This one here is the 48 volt battery to inverter, the cutoff switch. And there is also one of these in here, sitting right about here. What else? This I'll be replacing. I got a new box for it right there. I'll be replacing that with a better box. And slowly I may be able to remove some of these 12 volt wires. If I get a power supply rather than using 12 volt for the for the ham radio stuff that's up there, if I did that, I could remove at least 2 wires out of this. So I did rewire a light in the house that was on this switch, that relied on this switch in order to work, and that just wasn't working out. My wife kept complaining about it, so I fixed it. Like I say, I've got a few more things I could tie up, like right here, just to get them all bunched together. I will be getting a box to put all these in. I may not even use these at all, because I don't really need them. I might get a different one for the 120 volt. Get one this size for 120. And that would be cool. This doesn't actually read the amperage that the house is using. This is what's going into the inverter, if I remember right. I'll have to check on this one because I don't remember how I wired it, but it says 110. I could probably get one like this for the 110 volt side. Better yet, they do make fuses that will transmit wirelessly, so that I can see exactly what that's doing as far as voltage. I'll have to try and remember what I did here. This is actually what the house is using on the 110 volt side. So it's at 4.86 amps. That's what's going into the inverter, I'm sure. So I don't remember. That's the problem here. There's so many things, and the only place that anything's recorded is in the videos. So I would have to go back and look at some of the videos to see what this or that does. So, but I'm going to go ahead and get this one here published, and go from there. Like I say, subscribe, tell your friends. I'm up to 450 or 550 subscribers. That means I need 450 more in order to get it monetized, and I do need the money. So spread it around. I'm trying to think if there's anything else here. This here doesn't have any of the mesh, this stuff around it. I need to get this meshed and a piece of plywood put on it. I'm going to put a little tool hanging box right here, because I keep all the tools outside and it's kind of inconvenient. Just keep an extra set in here. Maybe I could put them over here. That'd be a good place for them, maybe. But anyhow, you all have fun out there. I really appreciate all you people, fine people out there watching, and it's been a lot of fun. But next video will be on the AC stuff, getting that all wired up, and I don't know if we're going to put a dryer in this room or not. I can put a dryer in this room, but I don't know if I want to, because there are gases. There is the possibility. So anyhow, I'll be back.